The bystander effect. There's a moment most people recognize, but rarely admit. A moment when something feels wrong, when someone needs help, when silence stretches just a second too long. And yet, nothing happens. Not because people are cruel, not because they don't care, but because everyone is waiting. This is the bystander effect, the psychological force that turns moral responsibility into collective silence. 1. The moment no one acts. Imagine a crowded street, a train platform, a workplace meeting, a digital space filled with observers. Something goes wrong. A voice is raised. Someone is mistreated. A boundary is crossed. You feel it instantly. A tightening in your chest, a quiet signal from your conscience. Someone should do something, but you don't move. You glance around. Others are watching too. No one acts. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, your sense of urgency dissolves. Not because the situation improved, but because responsibility disappeared. 2. Why silence feels safer in groups. The bystander effect is not about apathy. It is about diffusion. When responsibility is shared, it feels lighter, more abstract, easier to ignore. Psychologists discovered this effect in the 1960s after a brutal case shocked the public. Dozens of people witnessed a crime. No one intervened. The question was not why people didn't care, but why caring didn't lead to action. The answer was unsettling. The more witnesses there are, the less likely any single person is to act. Because the mind reasons quietly, someone else will handle it. 3. Diffusion of responsibility. This is the core mechanism. Responsibility does not vanish. It spreads. And when responsibility spreads, it weakens. Each person feels only a fraction of obligation. Too small to override fear. Too small to justify risk. So everyone waits. And waiting feels rational because it is shared. 4. The fear beneath the silence. But diffusion alone is not enough to explain the effect. There's another force at work. Fear. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of misjudging the situation. Fear of overreacting. Fear of standing out. In groups, we look to others for cues. If no one reacts, we assume there is nothing to react to. Psychologists call this pluralistic ignorance, when everyone privately senses something is wrong, but publicly pretends everything is fine. So silence confirms silence. 5. The social cost of acting. Acting breaks the pattern. It draws attention. It creates uncertainty. It disrupts social equilibrium. And the human nervous system is highly sensitive to social risk. To act alone feels dangerous, even when the action is moral. So people choose safety over responsibility. Not consciously, automatically. 6. The moral illusion of innocence. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most bystanders do not see themselves as passive. They see themselves as neutral. They tell themselves, I didn't cause this. I'm not involved. It's not my place. This creates a moral loophole. If responsibility belongs to everyone, it belongs to no one. And silence feels justified. 7. The modern bystander effect. Today, the effect has expanded. It lives online, in comment sections, in workplaces, in institutions. Harassment is witnessed, but not challenged. Harmful behavior is noticed, but normalized. Injustice is visible, but endlessly deferred. The crowd has grown larger, and with it, the temptation to disappear into anonymity. 8. The cost of inaction. But silence is not neutral. Psychologically, inaction carries weight. Studies show that people who fail to act often experience guilt, shame, and regret, even when no one else knows. The nervous system remembers the moment you ignored your values. You move on, but something lingers. A subtle fracture between who you believe you are and what you allowed to happen. 9. Why the effect persists. The bystander effect persists because it feels reasonable. It disguises itself as caution, humility, social awareness. But at its core, it is avoidance. Avoidance of responsibility. Avoidance of discomfort. Avoidance of being the first. 10. Breaking the spell. Here is what research reveals. The bystander effect weakens the moment responsibility becomes personal. When someone thinks, if I don't act, no one will. Naming the situation matters. Making eye contact matters. Assigning responsibility matters. Action spreads faster than silence. One person breaks the pattern, and others follow. 11. The ethics of being first. Being the first to act is rarely comfortable. It carries risk, uncertainty, exposure, but it also carries integrity. Because ethics are not measured by group approval. They are measured by action in moments of ambiguity. 12. The closing question. This episode leaves you with a question. Where in your life have you been a bystander? Where did you wait for someone else to move first? And what would change if responsibility stopped being collective and became yours? The bystander effect reveals something unsettling. Silence is not the absence of values. It is the failure to act on them. Responsibility does not disappear in crowds. It fractures, and ethics begin the moment someone is willing to stand alone. This is Ethiax, where psychology meets responsibility. And responsibility begins when you refuse to disappear into the crowd.